Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this podcast number 855. Why aren't there more WLW ships in anime? Question mark. Okay. What does this title mean? WLW. I don't know. What does it mean, guys?
Woman love woman.
Is it?
Would be my guess.
Yeah.
And that would be stupid.
Because
that means these guys don't know what Yuri is.
Well, yeah. There's the actual term for the genre called Yuri. There's also the shoujo I think, which is just girls love.
Mm-hmm.
There's
with the non-sexual one.
Yeah, it's just a romance, and if that's all it is, then it's just romance stories that happen to involve girl on girl, and there's romances for guy on guy, and that's totally normal. There's all kinds of examples of that in each genre, so I don't see what the mystery is.
Well, it simply means they have no clue about subgenres. They only know the popular stuff, and from the thumbnails, see at the end of the watch together, they only know the popular stuff.
Oh, really?
With very, very few exceptions.
Is that what this? I just went on my there's all kinds of manga websites. I went on the one I frequent now and again. It's called, I don't know if you guys can see it, Not to a Manga. It's kind of hard to see on the screen. I have 3 pages of Yuri, okay? And I'm sure some of it's smut. I'm sure some of it is just romance. But one of them has, 8 million views. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. There's all kinds of these stories. So, these are not unheard of. They're not unknown. They're just not as popular. And that's fine. Mm-hmm. That's totally cool. So, I guess these guys just didn't do their homework or just don't read them. And that's, totally fine. If you don't like it or don't know about it, great. But if you're making a topic on it, do some research, get the terms right, and then we're not going to look at you like we're laughing at these ignoramuses on the screen. So,
and for that matter, when you go to a comic shop and if you have one, go and ask who is the main customer base for buying same-sex romance manga. It will always be girls. That
yeah, possibly.
Whether it's girl or boy, it's gonna be girls who buy it.
Maybe, yeah, that makes some sense. Either way, this is from the YouTube channel Otakus Anonymous Abridged. So I'm assuming they have a podcast, and this is just the shorter version of that. And this came out March the 18th this year, and has, less than 4,000 views. So it's...
Well, they asked the important questions that we've always wondered and could never ask, like, why does all anime focus on high schoolers?
Yeah, well, I wonder. Okay.
Well, first, that's wrong.
I think we've talked about that for years now, so it's like, yeah, who cares what the topic
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
All right, anyway, this is an 18-minute video. We'll see how the first few minutes go. This could be a complete waste of time. We don't know yet. We'll find out. Here we go.
And I ironically wrote Bleach is getting the treatment.
What? Sorry. We just jumped into a conversation here. I'm sorry.
No, I think he starts it like that.
Yeah.
Yes. And I ironically wrote Bleach is getting the treatment that MHA should have had from Bones. And then I watched this week's episode of MHA, and I was like, why are they...
What is MHA?
My Hero Academia.
Oh, so they like the shonen crap. Okay, fair. All right, whatever.
All your questions have been answered.
Yeah, this is going to be a horrible video.
Putting money in now. Because literally Studio Period made an entire new section of their company called Studio Period Movies, basically just to take care of TYBW because it's doing so well. And I was like, what?
TYBW? I don't know. Am I old? Am I not hip? What's going on?
I think I've heard the acronym, but I can't place it.
Okay.
I didn't Bones do what the fuck else is Bones animating?
I know.
Yeah. But then they dropped 2 absolute banger episodes, and so now
I think you need to get off the energy.
Money's going back in.
Yeah, this latest episode. So this is Ochaka versus.
He's drinking from that? What is that? I thought that was a potted plant. Never mind.
That's a milk jug.
Holy.
Fresh from the cow.
How much water is... I don't know. Is this guy doing laps?
I have a pretty big thing around me that's 2 liters, so this is either 3 or 4 liters.
Holy.
I hate that the green thing on the right, I hate that it's smaller at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
These things always make me think like this must fall over. It must fall over. It must fall. You don't want that on your desk with all your tech.
Is he doing calisthenics while he's podcasting, like doing reps of something, and then he's like taking a big swig of water, and he's like, oh, okay, let's talk about anime.
I think it's just a new fashion.
Okay. Guys, get a water bottle, get a normal size water bottle, use your protein shakes, whatever works for you. But, that's huge.
You only need this if you go to the actual cow.
My lord.
Close.
Ochaka versus Toga.
Yeah.
It's the new best episode of the season.
Better
my
than
opinion.
last episode.
Way better. I mean, last episode I still thought wasn't as good as the Endeavor episode when he shoots lasers out of his eyes.
Love a good laser.
I love it. This is like the best one. It's like...
What are we talking about? What is going
My
on?
Hero Academia.
Oh.
It's still at My Hero Academia. I don't know why is the thing is titled this way.
Yeah. All right. Let's just power through it.
I'm sorry to say, but I'm not entirely sure their voices have dropped yet.
Okay.
Which is okay.
I think, because you talked about last episode.
But it all would
like
also
Shoto,
explain why they know
all the
relatively little.
Todoroki situation is like the best part.
The most compelling part of MHA, yeah.
I think it's Toga for me.
Really?
Toga's so compelling and so
Really?
interesting. But she doesn't have enough screen time. Like, there isn't enough development towards it. And I kind of feel the same way about Hawks.
Yeah.
Like, we got to see Hawks's...
I'm going to speed up the time. This is so silly. Where's the time? Playback
It's not a
speed.
good cutout.
1.25
suppose.
speed. There we go. Let's speed this up.
I thought you were talking about we got to see Hawks like holding his sword.
Holding a little sword with short hair
yeah,
and, like-
frail little like plucked bird Hawks.
It was so funny because Hawks has a moment where they're like talking about, they're like Toga's multiplying at like an outrageous rate, and it cuts to Hawks, and he's got this little sword, and he's like, I'll kill him all.
I'll get him. I love doing it.
Yeah, he loves. I just was waiting for this wave of twices to come to him, and he's like, finally, the reason I'm on this earth.
I've been waiting to relive this moment for years.
I just want him to be fucking just hacking it twice.
I would love that. I would love that so much.
Hacking at punch.
Yeah, and finally we be
Just on a side note, it's great to enjoy the stuff, but this is how teenagers talk who have seen their first anime.
I think. Maybe if you're 12, 13, maybe.
I'd go up to 15.
All right.
I mean, maybe they are hyping it up because their audience is younger, so they kind of feel more connected that way. But I am not too sure that this is true.
This is
They
a
might be-
strange... Yeah.
Yeah, they might be acting this way, but it might just be them.
Why are we talking about shonen when the topic should be Yuri romance?
This seems to be cut out of a larger stream.
Yeah.
That's why it just starts mid-conversation.
Yeah.
But
okay.
then it's badly cut out because I don't think this is adding to any context.
No, we don't need to know this. Or now that we know it, we're like, oh god, this is the mentality.
nice.
Thanks.
Nice. Finally we've been proven correct.
Yeah.
When the Hawks is the murder allegations finally come through, boy oh boy am I excited.
Toga's on our side.
Toga is on our side. I mean,
That's why she's my favorite.
twice killed.
What?
You know, a girl.
What?
Hawks killed her best friend.
Yeah.
So
But she's so compelling. This episode went into like how when she was a little girl, she had this like they called it a perversion. Like it got weirdly
perversion of her quirk. Yeah.
Yeah, it got like weirdly mature and dark, where they were like, yeah, it's a perversion of her quirk, which means like her quirk just kind of went haywire genetically.
Or like her quirk augmented her personality. is what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
But I like that they deal with like she has this like mental disorder kind of like she's like Dexter from Dexter.
Yeah.
Where has an insatiable thirst for blood.
Yeah.
But they do it in a way that's very grounded and very human because she's like the other kids feel this way too, right? Like why how are the other kids
How does everyone keep it in check?
Yeah, how is everyone else so much better at controlling it? And her parents are like freaking out and they're like, you're a freak!
And they're just like telling her to be normal.
Yeah.
Ironically, Toga is a better example of how to do Joker Folie à Deux than Joker Folie à Deux did.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but I've heard that it's just like Arthur Fleck being like, I'm sorry for everything that I did. And it's like, no, he's like, the Joker is supposed to be like an absolute monster who's like not apologetic for any of the murders he's ever done. And like, that's kind of that's Toga's entire deal. It's like, Toga's entire deal is supposed to be like, she wanted to be normal. She tried to be normal. She couldn't suppress the urges because her quirk makes her love like the people that she loves. She wants to be them. And like, by extension, that's like, she needs to consume their blood to be them.
Yeah. She's just so interesting. I think she doesn't get enough screen time. I think.
Wow, it sounds like every vampire story I've ever read. Oh, I have the hunger. I can't control it. Oh, I want to be in love with someone. I can never love someone because I want to eat them. Okay, that's great.
Like, off with Uraraka, where it started was weak.
It's unfortunately to me really thin.
It's very thin. This episode reins it in a bit because it's like yeah, because at first it's like, oh, we want to talk about boys and romance, and it's like,
in the defense of this, I don't expect My Hero Academia to add anything to the subgenre of vampire.
Or the idea of romance and
because it's just so much stuff that it just goes superficially into, because that's what it's about, and it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you have characters like we've looked at in Smallville, like the whole idea of growing up and as Superman is that he can never love someone, he has too many enemies, he's too strong, he could break someone easily, he can never play football, all these issues of being too strong or having superpowers or blah blah blah. You're like, yeah, we've talked about this. This is nothing inherently special.
That which makes My Hero Academia stand out is, oh god, wow, it's so long I watched it. America Man.
America Man. Is that his name? America Man?
No.
Okay.
It just slipped my brain.
Just the European going, yeah, I don't know about this Japanese anime crap.
You mean the previous greatest hero?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah, he's called All
Metro
Might, I
Man.
think.
Metro Man. He rides the Metro.
Oh,
like it's in the middle of a fight
seriously
and it's
forgot.
weird and whack. But here it's like Uraraka really leans into it, and it's less like, oh, literal, like, let's talk about romance, and more like,
I'll reach out.
yeah, or reach out, where she's like, right now, all Toga cares about is genocide.
Yeah.
And Uraraka's like, talk to me about love.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about your crushes and stuff like that. And it's less this weird, like, oh, this is what women talk about, and more like, yeah, she's like, I will be your friend.
Yeah, it's a call to what Toga's like the core of like Toga's like character development is, which is that like Toga's introduces this character who's obsessed with Deku and Ichaku and Froppy, and so like the way that Ichaku reaches out is like, hey, let's talk about the one thing that I know you're interested in outside of genocide.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it finds itself in a better situation by the end of it, but in the beginning it feels so incredibly thin. You're like, there's a million things we can be talking about. Why are we like actively like in the one time we're seeing two women communicate in the show, trying to bring it back to the men here? And so I think Toga's a fantastic example of like the fantastic encapsulation of Horikoshi's writing is like really, really cool, deep, dark theme explored, not fleshed out in the best possible way.
Yeah.
Like it's like the same thing with like the heteromorph like racism, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, like what a like a beautiful and complex world building idea. Like obviously people who are born with 6 arms and a crazy horse mouth are gonna be discriminated against. And then they're like, and here's 2.5 episodes to deal with this entire arc.
Yeah.
And it's like that's MHA in a nutshell, is like these really, really good, like absolutely we need to flesh these part of the universes out ideas that's like then swept.
You know, back in the day, we just called that prejudice. We didn't need racism for that.
I'm assuming
Just general.
Yeah.
That's different. That creeps me out.
I'm assuming this is part of the world, so that it's like, oh, we have to deal with the frog girl, we have to deal with the guy with 6 arms,
thing is,
or whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you say racism, that doesn't work anymore when we're dealing with individuals, because everybody's differently weird in that world.
Yeah.
And that's not a race. A race would be something somewhat homogeneous, like a tribe.
Yeah. Well,
it's almost kind of like using the X-Men as an example.
Yeah, exactly. We dealt with this in the 70s.
And calling the other people racists. Like, no, these are mutants, and
muties,
this is prejudice. It's not racism.
Exactly.
But that would still go against the entirety of the mutants. Here, what he brought up is a specific individual that had manifested a specific trait that made him ugly in a specific way. And there's no racism against an individual. That's stupid. And because that would.
Well, we are 6 minutes in, and there's no Yuri talk yet. So I'm like, okay.
Yes.
The rug because what's Todoroki doing?
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, but I did. The animation was great in this. It's kind of cool, kind of whatever that Uraka just like lifts them all.
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking just like a big plate of bugs.
Yeah.
Like but I loved it. I like this was like the closest I'd felt to being like emotional during an episode.
Of MHA ever?
No.
Of this season?
That would be sad.
Okay, not ever, because I was close to being like ever.
Okay.
Because I was like, I felt
Really?
hype before, but I haven't felt like emotional. And then I remembered like everything with Mirio and Eri, and that was like the peak of my emotions.
Or Mirko just like slicing through no.
So this is an MHA fan show. They're just talking.
I think you're right that they only watch shoujo slop because if this is the height of their emotional experiences with anime,
Yeah.
oh boy, you
It is a bit
you
sad.
innocent little kids.
Yeah.
I mean, not to be, going too hard against them, but when I was a teenager, I was already going into the seinen stuff and all of that because I kind of wanted the more mature stuff. And these guys are watching like shonen mostly, seems to be.
Yeah. If this was like 20 years ago, they'd be watching Naruto and talking about the arcs of,
Yeah.
I don't know, Neji and Hinata and blah, blah, blah. You're like, okay, great.
Oh, there's one thing that has changed since 25 years ago. A quarter century. There was less there. Like, yeah, the previous decades, there was still tons of anime. Not necessarily available in the West. And so even of the shoujo stuff we had, we did run out of it quite quickly. That's not the case for them. They can remain within shoujo slop forever until they're 30.
All right. 7 minutes. I'm glad we're speeding this up 1.5 times. So
Yeah.
Like containment cells.
I don't know if that was emotional, but
Oh, it was emotional for me. The emotion was hard. Yeah, absolutely.
the emotion was horny.
I'll watch that woman do anything.
I do love Mirko.
I would watch that woman snitch her ass one blade at a time. My God.
But this season definitely like most emotional bit. I loved it.
No, it's good. I don't think it's gonna be the final episode. I think
No.
after this fight is a fight I lovingly refer to as Iron Might, and I think Iron Might is gonna be the last fight. And it's gonna be fucking sick.
Yeah.
They also released an MHA movie, and you went and saw it.
I did see it. I saw the premiere.
How was it?
Topic,
Like-
please.
You
I
know,
want to see it tomorrow.
it's like another one.
Yeah.
You know,
It's your turn.
to do.
It's your turn.
To spoil?
It's your turn.
Oh, I'm next?
No, it's your turn.
Help me.
It's your turn. You're next. I mean, I'm sorry.
That's what I just fucking said.
You're next. I'm sorry. I forgot it. They released Horikoshi released a special one shot, and I was like, oh, there's more MHA. It's gonna be, and then it was just a fucking. It was like, hey, go watch it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very short Smudcast.
It's like
my God.
on par with the others. It doesn't necessarily.
MHA makes good non-canon movies.
They're
They're fine.
fine.
7 out of 10.
They're fine, but they're not. I was thinking about this the other day. Another thing,
The
Dragon Ball.
third one was an 8.
I didn't see it.
Pretty good.
In my
You didn't
defense.
see the Rudy one?
No,
That's
I-
why everyone's like, ooh, Deku and that boy be kissing.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's everyone was like, they saw that bird and they were like, the Deku was gay for that boy with the bird.
Dude, in
all right, we're getting close to the topic here. I think.
Are you sure?
I
see-
am quite convinced this is one of those occasions where people are talking about a certain topic, then find one thing that differs from what they were talking about on the podcast, and then name the the clip by that one thing that was outside of the whole topic.
Well, they mentioned two guys being close to each other. I'm like, okay, that's kind of the same as Yuri. Anyway, this is the best we got.
this movie, but this latest episode, I was like, just kiss Toga, please.
Who?
Ochaka.
Oh.
I was like,
Oh, in this fight.
Yeah, in this fight.
Gotcha.
I was like, you guys should be kissing right now.
Yeah,
Like,
and about time we get some lesbianism
Yeah.
here. You know what I've realized? You know what I've realized, Dan? You know what I fucking realized, Dan?
I'd love to hear it.
I feel like nobody ever ships women. in
I
anime.
also feel that way.
Right? I feel like everyone goes like BL and no one ever goes like
To be fair, there's not a lot of women. One in shonen.
That's fair. That's also fair. Yeah.
And two, not a lot of like.
So yeah, that's true. There's not a lot in shonen for the most part because guys don't really give a shit, and neither do young men give a shit because they're worried about superpowers and fighting enemies and blowing stuff up and hero's journey stuff. It's not part
And
of
if anything, shonen is about getting the girl.
Yeah, and it's not really a
And-
fantasy for boys. So whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, and when the girls romance each other, then the boy can't get the girl.
There's no romance. Yeah, that would be like, I'm going to go after the girl. The girl doesn't like you. Oh. So there's no story. Yeah.
So these guys want Yuri inside of a shonen anime.
For some
Got
reason.
it.
Yeah. I guess.
I think that these guys...
They're usually like fawning over guys. You know what I mean?
That's also, that's fair.
Yeah, like there's not a lot of women who are just
They
like...
have to have autonomy for them to be interested in each other.
Like in Naruto.
Yeah.
Other than Sakura and Ino, I can't think of like a single
They're not lesbians. What are you talking about? They don't love each other. They hate each other. What are you talking about?
I
Sakura?
think these guys are a bit infected by what they grew up with. And that is what they expect to see in anime. Even though they watch a specific genre.
I think.
Because every show and everything for the past basically 20 years, even more, has had certain quotas and everything. So I am guessing that these guys come from this and they go into shonen anime. Not anime overall, into shonen anime. And then expect that shonen anime will have the same kind of things, same kind of tropes as all of the previous media that they have consumed. And it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I'm trying to... I mean, I don't even know anime that has Yuri themes. I'm sure there has been. I just never watched them because I just never got around to it. It's not really my genre. So
there are some cases where, for example, in something like Bleach, you have Soifon being obsessed with Yoriichi. So there are cases of these, women loving other women.
Mm-hmm.
But it's usually a very singular and small thing. It's treated more like a small trope rather than a big point. And these guys seem to want more of it for some reason.
Well, I don't mean side characters with their own little not their arcs, but their own little, like, oh, this character likes playing with trains. Like, that's their own thing. Whether they like trains or like girls, it makes no difference. It's just the side character. So if we're talking about a story or anime or whatever, which genre, the main genre is romance, and it happens to be girls' romance, great. Give an example. Let's talk about it. They're just speculating. Where's all the girls' romance? It's like, it's not there. It's like asking why doesn't this shonen anime have mass murder or mystery? It's because it's not the main genre. It could have a mystery arc. You could have a horror arc, but subgenres are its own thing. So this is... like, who cares? Like, it's not relevant.
Two women have ever hung out.
I want to say like Hinata and Tenten, but that definitely
no shot.
Tsunade and Shizune, but that's a worker employee.
That's
situation.
A fucking Peppermint Patty and Marcy situation.
Yeah, I'd fucking watch it. Are you kidding me? Kushina and Sasuke's mom, Mikoto Uchiha.
But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's not a lot.
No, like who are we shipping? What women do we even have the chance to ship? Nami and Robin.
Why are we even speculating about this topic?
Why would you want to?
What's the point?
These guys, these are males watching shonen anime, being a shippers for girls.
I'm not following.
The level of testosterone in the room is so low that it might have as well not been there at all.
Yeah, these are the guys you don't want to associate with in your fandom, if you want to call it that.
So
this is what gives you a bad rep.
Yeah. So the question is, why aren't there more Yuri ships? Or is this like a fandom thing? Like, I wish that.
I think they're just making dumb jokes.
I guess.
Probably, yeah.
No, it wouldn't be like Nami and Robin. It'd probably be like Carrot or something. Like Carrot and...
They don't like... Because it's not enough to just have women standing next to each other. You know, they have to have that, like...
chemistry.
Yeah, they have to have chemistry of, like, a fucking Bakugo and Kirishima.
Or, like, every character from Blue Lock.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the gayest non-gay show of all time.
Just dudes kicking balls, man.
Dude, and they're just, like, one of them's a little cat, one of them's a big strong guy who's got, like a big comb-forward hair, and then occasionally when he's shirtless and he takes a shower, his hair's all down. Yeah. Fuck, man. Now I'm trying to think of lesbian couples from... Tamari's got to be in there.
Which one's the fan?
Yeah.
She don't talk to anyone. None of the women in Naruto talk to each other.
Tamari, I feel like some people would be like Tamari x Sakura, maybe. Like a little femme mask situation. Because Tamari's the mask. She's the mask in a relationship already.
I think this is just a bunch of guys speculating, not actually talking about romance stories or actual love, like love triangles or stuff like that where women are involved and it's more than one woman. this is silly. This is so stupid.
Yeah, the title of this video is basically a spontaneous thought that they had and decided to go into for some reason.
Yeah, there's really nothing.
Yeah, and I
here.
don't think they talk normally like this.
Yeah.
They're very forced in a high energy, and it's not because it's sped up by 50%. It just doesn't come across as fluent fun.
Yeah.
It feels forced.
This is like
So we have something to talk, so that we continue to talk, so that we fill the time, so that we have the stream.
yeah, this is like me speculating that Faye Valentine would be into Julia because they had that one episode together and they were talking about life, and you're like, oh, maybe they're into each. It's like, no,
Don't give Netflix ideas.
that Netflix show is done. There's no way it's coming back. So no, this is really just fandom, fan fiction crap that girls do all the time. Like these two guys are doing it. Of what if these two girls liked each other? You're like, I don't care. This is stupid.
They're all obsessed with Austin.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Vanessa and Marileona. Marileona's a lesbian, for sure.
Oh my god, you should. Oh wait, the Witch from Mercury.
The Witch from Mercury. That's Gundam. That's
There's
the
what Burn the Witch.
What
You still got to see that. That's in the Bleach universe. It's an anime.
It's in the Bleach universe?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like before or after? After, right?
I think it's like side. It's just like in Bleach. In Bleach.
What does this have to do with lesbians?
Well,
I don't know. Someone said the Witch from Mercury.
The Witch from Mercury is Gundam.
I know, and then I was like, Burn the Witch, which is Bleach.
Gotcha.
These guys really need to watch more anime because it's just kind of sad, actually. Look, we're just trying to fucking.
confusing themselves.
Oh, we're trying to relate to it.
Give us a
Well, oh yeah, Mr. Fucking Anime Man.
Yeah, Potato Hildy.
Yeah, you fucking anime nerd. You goddamn degenerate weeb. God, how fucking dare he? How dare he? How dare he? Oh yeah. Let me get into. Actually no. There is some.
Well, I mean, Madoka Magica.
Madoka
It's all
Magica.
women. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Sayaka.
That's the thing. We're trying to talk big anime here because I can tell you all about like how
Yeah,
I can tell you like about like Satsuki Kirawin.
Yeah.
And
I can talk to you about a dead anime from 2008.
yeah, I can bring up like how fucking like Katana Gatari had some possible lesbian ships, but no one's gonna give a shit.
Yeah. But
So wait, they're just doing it because it's popular? That's why they're doing it? Not because they like it, not because it's a thing they watched 10 years ago. It's because if it's not popular, we're not going to cover it. And they're asking in the title, why aren't there more of these anime? It's like, you're not talking about it.
So the epitome of tourists who do this thing exclusively in the hopes of chasing audience, otherwise, which is the reason they only go for popular things, because they think only that's the easiest way to get an audience.
Yeah, they're just doing they're just doing shonen, not because they like it, it's because it's popular. It's big, so they're going to cover it.
That is sad.
That is
I hope they keep failing.
okay. I don't think we should watch these guys anymore on principle alone. If you like the thing and you want to talk about the thing, bring up the best example of Yuri anime or manga or something. Don't go, well, no one cares. It's dead.
So far, I would say this was a bad suggestion.
Yeah. Anyway, here's Frog Jupiter for the 2. Thank you, sir. Just got here. Did you hear about Shrek 5 coming out? No, I did not. Why is that a thing?
How did
No,
this
it's not.
escape your attention?
I don't pay attention to
And I agree with Whisp, yes.
I don't know.
It's another Zendaya movie.
Oh, really? I just got all the news on
Yeah.
the Snow White thing. That was in the feeds.
It has not a name I want to remember. That I even remember it at this point annoys me.
Well,
Because every movie she's in, I don't remember what role she plays. I only remember there's that name with that movie, and there's a female character I despise, which is one of the main roles.
well,
And by now, I'm starting to put together that that's the person.
it was kind of funny. I was visiting my dad, and he was watching, I don't know why, the first Dennis Dune movie, and Zendaya's in there. And I didn't watch the second one yet, so I don't know what it's about, or how they did it, rather. And then I'm playing the remake of Suikoden 1 and 2, and I just remember that Joey's last name is Atreides, and I'm like, oh yeah, they did that. So then I was immediately thinking about the video we covered, like, oh no, we don't have to cover that lady again, talking about her fetish for Dune white men. So yeah, I'm glad we're changing the topic, but now that the topic is useless. Anyway, back to Frog Jupiter again for the 5. Thank you, sir. Physiognomy check. Both have a negative Canthal tilt. What's a Canthal tilt? I don't know.
I don't know that one.
Weak moth breathing? Moth breathing?
What is moth breathing?
I don't know.
What is moth
These words.
breathing?
I think there is a U missing in there.
Oh, yeah? Mouth? Okay. Jaw lines. They have jaw... Oh, wait. Weak mouth breathing jaw lines. I don't know what that means. Seed oil heavy diet. How do you know they eat seed oils? What are you talking about? Soy plus gay frog water in 2 people. What are they? It's just water. Come on, you can't see. That's just silly. Come on, frog water.
Gay frog water.
Yeah, the water that turns the frogs gay. They're drinking it. I'm sure. Okay.
You're next. I went to the premiere. I know you're just not listening and thinking of more lesbians.
Marileona and the former Wizard Queen. They had a fight. I wanted to watch them kiss.
I watched.
I'm trying to do the one eye blink. You know, like the slow eye.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it. All right, anyways. Yeah, you watched your next.
And I watched your next. And it was funny because at the premiere, we get in and we, there are little boxes in the seats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, nice, like t-shirts or something. And I pick up the box and it's heavy. And I sit down and I'm opening it up and it says like My Hero, You're Next on it. And I'm like, oh, dope, a t-shirt. Like, I'll probably wear a My Hero t-shirt. I hope it comes in like a small or a medium, but it's probably large. To be turkey sandwich. It was a fucking 12-inch turkey
Like
sub.
a hoagie?
Yes, a hoagie. And I turned to Sarah and I've got this turkey Jersey Mike sub spilling out of itself. And I was like, this is the best night of my life.
I get this in anime?
I was like, this is awesome. And
So
then,
Sarah went with you?
yeah, Sarah went with me.
I invited Dorothy to Santa Ana tomorrow to watch it, and she said no.
She just wanted to see a premiere.
Yeah, that's fair.
Guess what? They didn't know. They didn't ask about diet. They didn't do anything. I last minute, 40 seconds ago, told them Sarah was coming. She got a caprese in her box.
Really?
Just coincidentally.
They were like, hey, she gives vegan vibes?
Yeah.
Caprese has mozzarella in it.
Well, vegetarian.
Okay, yeah, good enough. Does she
Yeah.
eat cheese?
So these guys don't eat meat. They have gigantic water bottles, and they're speculating on Yuri pairings.
I'm afraid that this topic has already flew past.
It's
I
just
think he's talking already about something else.
sandwiches and vegan food. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I think I mentally checked out.
yeah.
She does
I'm
it
surprised.
presented at her, but it hurts her stomach because she goes so long without eating
That's
cheese.
very fair.
But
And
you know,
mozzarella's milky.
yeah, and it's caprese. It's just cheese.
It's
sandwich.
literally just a slab of wet cheese.
Yeah.
But you like
If you guys don't know what a caprese is, no, it's not just a slab of cheese. That's just no.
Maybe it's for the Americans.
If you're saying an Italian term, you better know what the hell you're talking about.
give it a rate.
It's better
Then 2,
than the first one.
but not as good as the second one.
I don't know if it's as good as the second one.
Second one's awesome.
This one's really.
spread.
This one's really boring until the very end.
That's kind of the third one. The third one is also kind of boring until the end, and then it's like, oh, this is some of the most gorgeously animated fights I've ever seen in my entire life.
This one has right. So Bones loves doing an abstract fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've skipped the topic. They had 3 minutes, and that was it.
Complete waste.
Yeah,
I
this
can
is.
tell you why you have only 1,000 viewers there.
It's just a bunch of random geeks who love anime, and they just talk about it very quickly. And
I'm not even sure they're geeks.
oh no, they know the topic. It's
Oh,
random. It's just all.
I think I think 25 years ago they would be the normal kids who laugh at the kids that watch anime.
Yeah, they seem that way.
They're having a good time. I mean, it's not for me, but I'm sure someone likes watching them. So good for them.
I mean, their set looks that expensive.
Lots of stuff. Yeah, they got some good gear going, I guess, and they got a third guy helping out with the camera work. So, or at least the setup for tech. So
It's this weird kind of thing of putting out a whole complete set before even starting the podcast. To me, that is a bit weird.
yeah,
Especially if you don't have an established fan base.
there's not much here to talk about. We're gonna go to memes. I doubt we have any. It was so quick that we barely touched these guys. Do we have any memes from today? We do have some memes. What do you know? Let's check them out.
How did that happen?
I have no idea. Anyway, here we go. But I don't like fan service. Then why did you watch a shonen anime? Yeah. I guess that's
It's
part
more
of
the opposite this time.
Yeah, well,
They want the fan service.
what's this? This is essentially the Yuri version of Love After World Domination, a tokusatsu parody that's also romance. There you go. See, this would have been fine. Cover this manga. That would have worked. Superwoman in Love, Honey Trap, and Rabid Rabbit. What a crazy title.
Looks cute.
It sounds fun. And I'm sure it's not, erotic or anything like that. It's not Harlequin. It's not porn. It's just a bunch of girls with superpowers. That's fine. What do we got here? I'm in love with the villainess. There we go. There's a famous one. That's well known. Could have covered that. There's all kinds. I'm trying to remember the ones I read a bit. One of them was Donuts Under a Crescent Moon. One was I Married My Best Friend to Shut My Parents Up. That was cute. Yeah, no, there's some really fun ones out there.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, these mangakas aren't dumb. They know what they're doing. You just have to find the good ones. As all genres have, 80% is kind of meh, and then you get the really good one here and there. So I'm not completely ignorant, but I don't think I could have much of a conversation. I was hoping these guys would. Instead, they're just talking about Naruto from 20 years ago and whatever they were just talking about for shipping, as opposed to the actual genre, and then describing why they think these characters in this romance story would end up together.
The more apt title to this video would be why aren't there more WLW ships in shonen anime?
Right.
That would be way, way more fitting.
More accurate, at least.
Because otherwise it's just stupid.
All right, here's the Frog Trooper. I predicted the vegan soy diet and $100 on-seed oils too. That was a weird jump into food. I don't know why that came about.
I think deducing that the Californians helped a lot with that prediction.
Yeah. I think it came about of him going to some movie premiere and seeing that getting like a sandwich.
Which is weird because I've never heard of a caprese sandwich. It's a salad. Caprese is a type of salad. I guess you could call it with a sandwich.
No, he got a sandwich, and I think his girlfriend or someone like that got the other thing.
Yeah, and there's no such thing as a vegan caprese. It's mozzarella cheese. That's not vegan.
Smart. The Californians call that fusion.
Fusion of what?
American sandwiches and
in Italian cuisine. Oh god.
Everything's fusion now.
Yeah, well. Anyway, that was the video, guys. Really, really sad that we just got a bunch of geeks on the screen just rambling on random topics and just happened to talk about women for about 2 minutes and then nothing.
Yeah, I think that the clips of the streams are not necessarily a good suggestion.
Yeah.
For the Smudcast. Usually because, as with even us, it involves streaming and podcasting involves some tangenting. And these guys definitely did not stay on the topic that was given to this video.
Well, they did clip it, and they tried to summarize it, and they only did like 2 minutes worth, and the rest was all them just rambling on about My Hero, and they went to some premiere of something, and that was it. So, sadly, not a great video to cover, but now we know who to avoid. So, thank you guys for the suggestion there. Give us more specific, focused videos of anything, any topic, as long as the video guys or the YouTubers are on topic. That's great. That's kind of like reason or quality number one we need when covering a video. I'm getting tired of video titles that have nothing to do with the actual content. It's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
It confuses me.
The joke runs its course. It's not that we look for stuff that has that problem. It's just that we point it out when it's there.
Yeah.
And this is just this here is nothing at all. This is a complete dud.
Yeah, if we were just like, I don't know, Wisp and I were just talking about random stuff in books for about 10 minutes, we'd be like, what's the topic? Just people randomly talking about genre. And then someone says, well, let's just call it, laser guns in science fiction. You're like, what? That was like a 1 minute conversation. What are you talking about? So, yeah. Sadly, 40 minutes of us listening to nothing, and we actually had to speed that up. So, Oh well, if you guys want to do something tomorrow, we can. I still have time. Again, I'm done my contract for the quarter. I'm now job hunting, so I got time to devote to whatever you guys want to do. So keep the suggestions coming, keep the voting going, and we will hopefully see you soon on a better video that may in fact talk about shipping and Yuri and be on par with the title. That'd be great. So have yourself a good evening, guys. Talk to you soon. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.